Hello girlies and welcome back to another episode. Can we talk about how the helly is literally February? I feel like January was almost like a fever dream. I went into January thinking I'm so organized, I'm feeling so fresh, like let's go. To be honest, was I feeling fresh? Because I didn't take off like any time of work. I was available for my clients that whole time. Rookie mistake. So could I say I was refreshed? Probably not, but I was feeling good. And then I don't know why. January just felt chaotic. I don't know if it was because there was like still public holidays in the mix, if it was because of like school holidays and everyone being away. So then it was like kind of a ghost town around. And I don't know. I don't even know, but it's just been absolute chaos. My partner was working January non-stop. There was just so much going on. I had events on. I had so much in the calendar. Birthday invites, so many 1 years coming up with my clients, and I felt like it was just like go, 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 go. I literally have a horror story to share with you, but I think I'm going to share it behind the scenes in the broadcast because it's actually embarrassing at this point. Let's get straight into the episode. I really want to talk about getting unstuck because I know a lot of you feel similar to me where you were like, okay, January 2026, it's my year, and then January just felt really off, really chaotic, like hard to commit to. January just felt woo-woo, if you will. So I really want to talk about getting unstuck and meeting yourself where you're at right now. And to be honest, I feel like where you're at right now is you know that you want it, you're ready to commit all of the things, but you find yourself keeping yourself playing small. You're going in, saving workouts, screenshotting meal plans, looking at advice from so many other influencers. And I see it myself with my one-to-ones. They'll message me about something so rogue, so random, and I'm like, whose TikTok did you see, right? I'm not going to shame you for being curious about TikTok, right? Like what's on TikTok, curious about whether it's creatine, whether it's about building the top of your glute, whether it's building your triceps. Like you probably saw a video that said, do these 3 exercises and I bet you'll have the juiciest glutes you've ever seen, right? Clickbait. Right? We're all going to be a bit curious and be like, oh, I'm going to ask my coach about that one. That's not where it's wrong. But the problem is when we start looking at all of these things, we're consuming a lot of advice and it keeps us stuck. So we're saving that workout thinking, oh, I might try that workout in the gym. Then we see another influencer maybe saying a different thing. Oh, I'm going to try that workout. Then we see a fancy little meal plan that's promising amazing fat loss results. Okay, I'm gonna go and save that and I'm gonna make that later, which 9 times out of 10 we've talked about this. How many times do you save them and never go back to them? But I digress. And then you might be like, okay, I'm actually a little curious now. I've seen this influencer a few times. She said a few things. I'm going to go on her website and I'm going to buy her program. It's probably not exactly what you're needing. I myself have like a cheaper option on my website that you can purchase to do like a little PDF train like me style for girls that are super advanced, just want a program to follow and know that it's going to be training in a similar way to me, right? I know that. And it's cheap because it's just a PDF and it's not custom to you at all, right? A lot of influencers do that, but they pretend that it's custom to you. And they, like for mine, it literally says this is not made for you or your goals at all. It's just a training program. But you might go on and say, oh, $50 for like a once-off program with this influencer, I'm going to purchase it. You start doing it, but you're going to fall off quite quickly, just simply because I don't know about you, but I think we're all the same because we're just girls. We're just girls here. I want something that's like custom made for me. I want someone like looking over my workouts. I want someone I can send my form videos to. I want someone that I can like literally just be like, I'm having the shittest day ever. I've just done my whole workout out of order. This gym is fucking zoo up in here with these school holiday kids. The boys band is over there gatekeeping the leg extension and I'm having a shitter. I want someone that I can say that to be honest. And I'm not getting that in an influencer's world. I'm not getting that purchasing like random little like do-it-yourself workout programs. Again, there's a time and place for all of them. That's why I have like literally just the one. But I think that that's what's keeping you stuck right now because you half start it, then things like that happen where the gym is like not working in your favor on that day, then everything kind of falls apart and then you move on as soon as something better appears. There's another influencer out there promising something else, maybe to build the bottom of your glutes, to build your hamstrings, and you're like, oh, I actually kind of want to do that, and you kind of jump ship. So for me right now, I'm thinking you're not actually stuck. I know actually, you're not actually stuck because of your lack of commitment. You're a committed girl. You know what you want. You're ready to invest in yourself. There's just so much noise consuming you and it's keeping you stuck. And this is not a situation of, okay, delete your social media. No, I think it's great. But I'm going to give you an example. The other day, one of my one-to-ones said, what's your thoughts on creatine? Like, should I take creatine? And I'll tell you exactly what I said to her. I was like, creatine's great. We already produce it in our body, believe it or not. So when you get a blood test, we actually have a creatine count and it comes up in our blood test results. So we actually do naturally produce that. But I also know that we also naturally produce collagen, but some people don't have enough and all of the things. So that's when we want to kind of supplement for imbalances, right? But also, obviously, the question came from being really wrapped up in the fit influencers and them always pushing creatine with their discount code and things like that. And I think I said to her, it is great for feeling quite strong, especially when you're in a deficit, but it does hold on to water weight. So it fills your muscles kind of with water and you look a bit more inflamed and puffy and sometimes even like bloated. And then that can kind of fuck with your head, but it's a bit of a process. And if you are someone that doesn't drink enough water already, it can make you quite constipated. And I was like, so are you prepared to be kind of constipated, be a bit bloated and fluffy, but feel stronger? So I was like, you need to be really, really intentional with the gym and also just being like super consistent with taking it every day, because if you take it like 4 days and then forget it 3 days, like it's just not going to work. It's the same as like any medication. If you're sick and you're taking antibiotics and you take them for 3 days, you forget for 2 days and you're still like sick and you haven't like recovered yet, you're going to continue to be sick, right? So I was like, it's almost like a full-time job committing to remembering to take it, especially if you take the powder, because people put it in their coffee, people put it in their water, but it's so sandy and grainy, and I just feel like that is something so easy to forget. Like if I'm buying a coffee out, fuck, I've just not taken my creatine now. There are gummies and and tablets. I've choked on a tablet before, so I have PTSD. And the gummies, I don't know, apparently the serving size, there's a few different out there on the market at the moment, so it is really like trending, this conversation, if you will. But they are like, literally you got to take 4 gummies or whatever to get like a serve or something. And I'm like, are we remembering to take 4 gummies? I don't know. I said to her, point blank, do what you want to do. Like I've just given you the education, the advice and my thoughts, but at the end of the day, it's your body, your choice. But I think right now your focus, because she's so busy with work and her job's very demanding, your focus is to get your workouts done, get your steps done, like do the things that we said we're going to do. And once you start nailing that and have time for that, then add things like this. Because right now I don't think creatine is going to serve you if you're not able to get to the gym more than like once this week. You know what I mean? So, and then I also said, personally, I don't take it. I think it's always really, really reassuring to be told like that your coach doesn't take it. I just don't find the need for it. As I said, I find that I would just forget it every second day or something. And it did make me quite like, obviously it made me like a bit inflamed and holding onto the water weight and a bit like bulky, if you will. That's not like the good word for it, but you know what I mean? And I did not like it. And I think as well, just because like PCOS, I already can get quite inflamed. I was like, this is making it very inflamed and I was not liking it. I felt like very puffy. So that was for me. But see how this whole conversation came about of her just seeing probably gummies or her just seeing some influencer saying like, I think I'm going to buy... I think you guys should buy these creatine gummies. They're so yummy. Use my discount code. So it's like, where can we actually educate and get education rather than falling for it? Because as well, I think something that we're all victim of is looking at an influencer, seeing how fit they are and instantly assuming they're a really good coach. I have so many crazy stories to share with you guys, but there is this one coaching company that are literally pretending to be custom coaching, pretending to be offering the world. They're literally sending videos to people pretending they're custom, but it's the same video to every single person. And that's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. Just because she's so fit and like quite like lean, people are actually falling for it. And I'm like, I'm embarrassed that they're being so manipulative and using their bodies to market themselves. So I think it's really, really important to remember, like, just because someone looks a certain way right now doesn't mean anything. And I think that as well, even from my own journey. So I was 20 kilos heavier, lost that. Then I was really skinny fat. Then I had to put on some muscle. So I did have a bit of a bulk, but I kind of did it wrong at the time. And then gained 10 kilos and then lost that 10 kilos. And now I've just maintained this like 20 kilo loss, but my body looks so different now to what it did back then when I lost that 20 kilos. But those experiences actually shaped me into being able to help my clients reverse properly, help my clients come up to maintenance, even do a mini build when they want to go into a strength training phase. I know I help a lot of women with weight loss, but I also do like builds as well. And it's because I have so much knowledge from it now from doing all of those things. But just seeing some fit influencer who's never probably gained weight in their life, who's never struggled with their weight in their life, who are very, very lean. You have to remember, when they're so lean, they're going to look really muscular, because if you don't have any fat on your body, what is it? Your bone. your bone, which you can then train to look a little bit muscular because you're so lean. It's not hard to make it look a little bit more muscular. So you have to remember these things. So like when I'm looking for someone, I'm seeing like how consistent are they in the gym? Because are they walking the talk? I follow a couple coaches who claim to be training 3 to 4 to 5 times a week. They never post it. They never share it. I'm like, are you, or are you behind your laptop working 24/7? Because that is not a coach I want to work with. I want to work with a coach who actually trains in the gym, can get in a room, get in a group class, if you will, with other personal trainers and lift the same as them, be as strong as them, be like part of the room. And that is like something as well that I learned from working face to face in a gym. We had a team of like 30 PTs. And because of that, we would do every week we would have a group meeting. Sometimes they would be workouts. We would go into teams, we would compete against each other and stuff like that. At the time, I fucking hated it because I was going like through all my PCOS health issues and I was super inflamed and I was so emotional and my skin was breaking out and that was the worst time of my fucking life. But I appreciate it now because I could really keep up with them and it made me feel like, yep, cool, we're actually at the same fitness level regardless of the fact that I've just gained 10 kilos. You know what I mean? And I think that's really, really important to remember. And I think a lot of you do hold on to the scale weight. One of my clients, she's quite tall. I think she's sitting at 115 kilos right now, but that is like, she does not look that weight, right? So if you thought 115, you're probably thinking, wow, like that's a lot. It's not. She does not look that way. She's so fit. She can keep up with me just fine walking like 6K. She's so fit. So this is why it's really important as well to remember that just because you're a certain weight doesn't mean that you're actually fit. And on the flip side of that, you could be so lean and so unfit. Like right now, my cardio fitness is pretty fucking good. But I know before I started running about a year ago, it was pretty bad. But I was sitting at one of my leanest weights, right? So it's really being across like, what are we consuming? What are we perceiving? And thinking a little bit deeper of like, oh, okay, she is like a twig, but you know, can she even walk without getting puffed? Because personally, I'd rather weigh a little bit more and get puffed walking and not get puffed walking up the stairs than be a little bit leaner, have really bad cardio health and like not work on any of those things. Because you have to remember, running and stuff requires fuel, requires carbs, requires potential weight gain, and these people aren't willing to do that. So then their cardio health's in the bin. Bit of a rant from me, but I think it's also just so important not to get wrapped up in the matching sets, the perfect 5 a.m. morning routine, the it girl morning routine. I know I shared with you guys that I was trialing a few different morning routines. Never once did I wake up at 5 a.m. Never once did I go and smash a full hit workout first thing in the morning, fasted. Absolutely not. You'll never catch me doing that. And I think it's really, really important to know that you can be that girl, but also have a messy bedroom. Like I will get my session done and my room will be a hot mess. You guys know I'll sit down and record these and my room will be a hot mess. I sometimes fold my pages on my books instead of using my beautiful custom bookmark that one of my one-to-ones got me for Christmas. I have a vanity that sometimes is an absolute mess with bobby pins and hair ties and empty deodorants all over it, right? And it doesn't actually make me wrong for that. I'm so tired of being stuck because I don't have an aesthetic routine. I'm so tired of seeing people feel inferior because they don't have pristine white walls and like clear cabinets. Minimalism is so stupid to an extent. Like I think it's so stupid that you don't have anything on your counter. Like I'm using that every day. I'm going to leave it on my counter. Like what the fuck? What the fuck? It literally makes no sense to me. It's just like does not feel like real life at all. It feels so backwards. I'm like confused every time I see someone being like this is my morning routine and their whole thing's empty. I'm like, I've got my hairbrush, I've got my like gel, I've got my like jewelry. Like how are we not, well, I don't know. But like when I say minimalism, like we're not doing overconsumption because that is the thing as well. How many activewear sets do you need? I'm going to leave that one with you. How many do you fucking need? If you're running out of coat hangers, it's time to cull, donate some, stop getting caught up in all of the new drops. I'm not going to lie, CSB, she's looking cute. She's looking cute, but you know who I'm sick of? Define. Bored of it. Every influencer's with them. Bored of it. And I'm not blaming the influencer, right? It's just their job. They're just doing their job. And don't get me wrong, like I work with Ultrahuman now. If you guys didn't know, I actually haven't told you guys. I work with Ultrahuman now, but I literally wanted to purchase it 6 months before I started working with them. Like I genuinely back it. I genuinely am data driven. You guys know that I used to wear a Whoop. You guys know I always wear my Apple Watch, even when it doesn't match my outfit because I want my data. I have always tracked all of my data. I weigh myself every single, I'm very, very data driven. I track my food, like when I'm in phases and I make sure everything's in there. I'm making sure I'm hitting my micros as well as my macros, my fiber, all of the things. So you guys know I'm very, very particular about data. So this makes sense, right? My discount code is Success with Jess, which is so fitting because I changed my Instagram username. But anyway, yes, when they have discount codes, it's their job, whatever, but make sure that they actually genuinely love the product and they get the consistent results and they use something consistently and they test and trial something too. Otherwise, we're just buying into something that we're probably going to use for 5 minutes. After it's not trendy anymore, we're sick of it. Getting back into it though. If you're struggling to stick to sessions, it's probably your program. It's probably what you're consuming. It's probably a mixture of all of the things. So we need to kind of quiet the noise. Stop letting things distract you from what you want. You already know that you're going to invest in something, right? You're already looking at different coaches that you want to work with. You already know that you really care about yourself. You get your hair done, you get your nails done, you fake tan or you go get a spray tan. Like, you know you're that girl already. And the only thing missing right now is your busy schedule is not aligning with the workouts that you need. Like, it doesn't match up. So you need to find a workout program that actually supports you and your busy schedule, because you don't have time to fuck around and try out all these different workouts and try out every recipe you've saved, and you don't have time to spend 4 hours in the kitchen doing meal prep to try and do the cool little meal ideas that you found on TikTok. Like, it just is not worth your energy or time because you're already so time poor, and when you're spread so thin, like, just nothing compounds. And I know right now you're thinking, you've come on this episode because you're like, I am stuck and I don't know what to do. Eliminate the noise and find something that actually works for you, because just because it works for an influencer who, mind you, it's their job to post these things, or maybe even your best friend who has a different job to you and has a bit more time than you, you're a girl who does not have that time. So you need to do what makes it work, what helps you be consistent, what actually meets your schedule. If your schedule is, I can only get 3 sessions in, I need to be in and out in 45 minutes, perfect. We can actually do that. But if you're like, following a program that's 5 days, 1 hour sessions, and expects you to be like absolutely dying in the gym every day, how are you supposed to do that? Between the travel to the gym, the shower that you need to do before you go to work, the actual working out, getting changed, getting ready, all of the things, like, you do not have time for 2 hours in the gym. So we need something that's actually simplifying it so that you can actually stick to it. But at the end of the day, we actually can't change anything until you decide what you want. So sit down, figure that out, and then go from there. What did I say I was going to talk about? Oh my God, why does it have just left me? Regardless, you guys know the broadcast. There's heaps of you in there. The broadcast is now going to be a bit of an after hours. Go on my Instagram. It's Jess Hugo. And I'm going to be sharing some behind the scenes little things I said I'm going to talk about, because my brain, I literally can't remember like what I said I was going to tell you about, but that's going to be in there. So doing it anyway after hours. Go check the podcast. Broadcast. Wow, why do they need to use the same name? Because I just stuffed that up, but I will link it below in the show notes. Let me know if this helped you, feeling like, cool, I can actually see myself getting unstuck now because I do everything right and I'm not feeling very anchored, and I've been letting other people set the standard, and now I'm going to set the standard. If you have any questions for me as well, I will also put up something in the broadcast. You can send me through your questions, any topics you want to talk about, all of the things. I'm excited. February feels a lot better. I feel better about February. That is all from me. I will catch you all on the next one, and that's it. Mwah.